Yeah, I'm always curious, like, what it takes, what is it that like makes where a successful advertising director decides, yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave this comfortable advertising life and gamble on feature filming. Well, what was it for you?
I got into advertising wanting to do film.
Okay.
So my introduction to film was doing the short film. Two short films which struggled a bit. This was about 10 years ago. And then I decided that I didn't know enough. So I worked in advertising where the turnaround time is very quick. I accumulated what they call the flying hours, worked with equipment, worked with people, worked my way up. And then after 10 years when I felt I was ready, then I stepped back into feature film.
So yeah, maybe you can talk a bit about the conception of this film.
Yeah, so it's actually it's a commentary on the class system in Malaysia, and also what I've always felt, where nothing is really black and white. It's all grey, and we have the class system where, as you can evidently see, the rich get away with some things, and the middle class always, the lower middle class always kind of struggle. So it was a commentary of that. I don't know if you guys realize, but also this film was done in 3 different languages, which in Malaysia is quite common in real life, but in the cinema it's not. Yeah. We categorize our films by language, so it's normally like 90% Chinese, 90% Bahasa, 90% English. This is the first film where it's predominantly mixed.
Yeah, your performing guys were all speaking Mandarin mostly, yes? And
yes.
The police were speaking
in Malay. In Bahasa. The rich, the upper class were speaking in English.
Alright, yeah. Maybe you can clear up also some specific cultural things. What exactly is a dato?
So a dato is a title you get when you've done, for example, you're supposed to get it when you've done the city a favor, for example, or you do good, or you're a successful businessman where you contribute back to society. But also in Malaysia, in the society, the dato can be bought, and it's a title that allows you to get away with a lot of things.
Okay. At one point early in the film, there's this one of the characters is referred to as a modern Malay. Is there?
Yeah. So we also are predominantly we're predominantly Muslim country, but some parts of Malaysia can be quite radical, and they are very conventional. So modern Malay is a Malay who doesn't abide by the conventional rules. So, a little bit of gambling, a little bit of drinking.
So yeah, there is like some racial component to your film. Like, what is the situation between, say, the Chinese and the Malay?
I feel it's divided on paper. It's divided by the politics, but on the ground we're really the same. Which is also what I wanted to say, right? So in this port in Kuala Lumpur, which is basically a valley, and it's a port, it's a mining town basically, and we're all stuck on the same sinking boat. So I think on the ground we all realize that, and that discussion it continuously happens.
Alright, let's open it up for a question.
The choice between switching between Mandarin and Cantonese. I understand the other villain, the one with the casino.
Yeah.
He speaks primarily in Mandarin, so I'm thinking, is he a Hokkien Minnan person or a non-Cantonese, non-local Chinese?
Yeah. So very sharp. Well done. Yeah. So he's based on most of the gangsters now in Kuala Lumpur are Chinese based from China, mainland China. They're Taiwanese. If you can see, if you have a sharp ear, so the family, the older generation switches from Cantonese to Mandarin, because Cantonese is also a dying language in Kuala Lumpur because all the schools now teach only Mandarin. So the older generation do speak Cantonese, but the younger generation also they don't understand Cantonese anymore.
Thank you.
Inspired by Western gangster movies based on this film?
Oh yeah, very much so. I mean, I love Western movies. I love Sergio Leone. I love spaghetti westerns. I love Scorsese. Also, I grew up watching a lot of Hong Kong movies. Coming from a generation of, I mean, we all know this. We come from a generation of when I was growing up, watching movies, it was all pirates. And all you could get because of Chinese gangsters that were controlling the pirates were Chinese gangster movies, which you grew up watching. You're like, oh, cool, this is nice. But then how do you inject in or make it personal? How do you inject in the way you see or the personal landscape of your world into something that you like is what I thought was very important.
Is there a tradition of crime or gangster cinema in Malaysia?
Oh no, nowadays the crime has all gone white collar, so nobody really bothers doing blue collar anymore, it's too much work. So this is also, I think, the last of, it's a turn of the time because we also don't really have taxi drivers anymore in KL with the Grabs and the Ubers coming up. So it's the end of the time, which is also what we wanted to do, which is the cycle, right? So the two guys, Tylo and Asun, and then there's Silo and Wilo, and it's a cycle, it's a change of time.
Question issue in your native land?
No, the violent was just, I mean, the ear thing we had to cut out the screwdriver in the ear.
Okay.
We predominantly, I mean, we had 13 cuts with the censorship, so we are known to have very strict censorship. But with this case, they had re-involved the government and the police at a very early stage. They read the second draft, and they had said no to a lot of things. So then I told my producer, hey, let's go and talk to them. Because it normally is the case where they say no and then you're like, okay, and then you go on the internet, as a friend would say, you go on the internet and then you complain about it. But I thought, why don't we include them into this process and then talk to them, open dialogue and see what's wrong. So in the end of the day, we didn't have to compromise much. Like, for example, you wouldn't notice, but the Malaysian police don't really wear that kind of uniform. It's a different badge. Those are the things that we had to change. But it was still in Malaysia, the audiences knew, the audiences in Malaysia knew it was still in Malaysia. And yeah, the only thing we couldn't say we had to cut out was, they said the word pig, he said the word pig.
Okay.
He says F off pig to the cop. We have to change the subtitle and bleep that out.
Alright.
I want to ask something about the ending because it's kind of deep and I think there's some
Producers did it.
Yeah.
Producers killed it.
No, but I wanted to ask if there were a couple of things that you wanted to do to reconsider, I guess, before going to that kind of ending.
Yeah, I mean, like again, I said this is my first movie, and funny story though, because this is a common thing. It was my first movie. I really wanted the people to reflect. Anyways, like hold up the mirror and have to look at it. But in the real story, also the producers had told me we had 120 pages, and the producers said you have to cut it down to 100. This is a true story. And then me being my first time director, I'm like, yeah, sure. And then, you just edit words. Like, in school, you cut out, you take out. You have to edit. You just edit words, you get it to 100 pages. But in my head, it was still 130 minutes. So we shot it, and you're like, you sure this is a 90-minute movie? I'm like, yeah, it's a 90-minute movie, blah, blah, blah. We get to the offline, we show it, and I'm like, it's a 130-minute movie, you guys can't do anything about it, I already shot 130 minutes. They're like, yes, we can, and we have to, because the cinema slots, you pay for 100 minutes. If you go past 100 minutes, you have to pay for 2 slots. I didn't know that, so I was like, shit, we didn't have budget, small budget movie, it's a small movie. So we had to cut out a lot of things, and then figure out how to end it with still the intention I wanted for the ending, but a lot of chunks that were cut out from the plot line. And it turned out alright, because it turned out mysterious, which was quite nice.
Did you cut out anything that you really, really love, that you wish was still in there?
No. Normally the story is the same for me. You gotta kill your babies,
Yeah.
Kill all your money, it's expensive.
Anyone else?
You have a very good, set of actors here. Especially, I like the Scar boss. And,
Frederick Lee.
Did you handpick them or did they go through auditions?
Oh yeah, no, we went through a bunch of auditions. It took us about 4 years to make this movie. The 2 main guys, Inspector Kamal, which is Bron Palare, he's also in the new movie coming out with Dacia, which is Filipino. And then Sunny Pang was Singaporean. Those guys were in from Drug One. We had a lot of trouble looking for Silo, the younger kid. But also then we looked to TV drama, telenovelas, and those actors are great. A lot of the directors didn't want to go near them. Casting houses didn't get them, but I was watching TV dramas, my mom does it. It's actually a family drama, Chinese drama, which you watch at 5 o'clock. We do them later, 5, 7 o'clock, they have the Chinese dramas, right? I was like, hey, why don't you get these guys? They're like, no, they're Chinese, they're drama actors. I'm like, drama actors are great, they can cry on cue, left side, 1 tier, what do you want? Right? And then you give them homework, and we worked 2 months with them. with background and they performed on cue. So I think the guy who got shot, Asun, the guy with the scar, Asun who got shot, and Guilo, the guy with the blonde hair, all drama actors.
It's a bit moralistic, serving saying that, in as much as there are corruption, or there is corruption among perhaps maybe torturous police, the state prevails, justice prevails, right? Was that a change that government census wanted? Because for a bleak film, it was a very moralistic and optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ending was also bleak. It might have been too bleak because we were really pointing towards Kamal doing it. So Kamal, he had given them 12 hours, and he was actually the one in charge of. He was actually the one that got the hit on Tylo. So crime doesn't pay, but also the guys who catch the criminals get away with things. That was kind of the outtake. Right.